A crowded train in Tokyo. A toddler begins to cry. His mother doesn't reach for her phone. She doesn't bribe him with a snack. She doesn't whisper a warning under her breath. She simply waits, still, patient, as if she already knows how this ends. 6,000 miles away, in a Helsinki park in the middle of November, a 6-year-old girl falls off a log. She looks up at her father. He looks back at her, quietly. No rush to help, no panic, just a steady, unhurried presence. Both children, within seconds, regulate themselves. 2 different countries, 2 completely different philosophies, the same extraordinary outcome. For the past 20 years, developmental psychologists have been asking a fascinating question. Japan and Finland share almost nothing. Not geography, not language, not culture, not daily life. Yet both countries consistently produce children who are calmer, more emotionally resilient, and more self-directed than the global average. So what do they have in common? The answer isn't a rule, it isn't a technique, and it certainly isn't punishment. In this video, we're going to look at 3 pairs of concepts, 1 Japanese, 1 Finnish, and show you exactly where they converge. Because what both cultures agree on may be the most important thing you'll hear about raising children this year. Let's start with what the data actually shows. Japan scores consistently in the top 5 globally for emotional regulation in children. Finland has ranked number 1 in the World Happiness Report for 7 consecutive years. In the 2023 PISA assessment, both nations place in the top tier for student well-being and self-directed learning. These aren't coincidences, they're signals, and they point to the same underlying architecture of child development, built differently on the surface, but designed identically underneath. Here is the framework you need before we go further. Each pair maps onto one of 3 stages of development. The first is how both cultures teach children to tolerate discomfort. The second is how they build the emotional foundation that makes self-regulation possible. The third is how they shape identity through daily life, not through rules, not through rewards, but through who the child understands themselves to be. 3 stages, 6 concepts, 1 unified answer. Pair number 1. In Japan, the concept is called Mimamoru. It translates literally as to watch over while protecting. When a child is struggling, with a task, with frustration, with a difficult moment, the Japanese parent's first instinct is not to intervene. It is to observe, to trust, to stay present without stepping in. In Finland, the equivalent principle is sisu, one of the untranslatable words of the Finnish language, a compound of grit, resilience, and the willingness to sit inside difficulty rather than escape it. Finnish children are not shielded from cold weather, from physical challenge, from the frustration of trying and failing. They are expected to meet it. Both concepts encode the same developmental truth. A Stanford meta-analysis of 87 studies, published in 2021, found that children who experience what researchers called productive struggle, moments of genuine difficulty without immediate adult rescue, develop significantly stronger executive function and emotional regulation than children whose discomfort is consistently removed. Put simply, the moment we rush in to fix the problem, we take away the exact experience our child's brain needs to wire itself for resilience. So the next time your child is frustrated, and every instinct in your body wants to solve it for them, count to 10. Watch. Give them the room to try. Because what looks like struggle from the outside is, neurologically speaking, exactly where growth happens. Pair number 2. In Japan, it is Amae, often translated as the feeling of being able to depend on another's love. Amae describes the deep emotional closeness of early Japanese parenting. Co-sleeping is common, physical proximity is constant. The child is never made to feel that love is contingent on behavior. This isn't permissiveness, it's foundation. In Finland, the equivalent is leikki, free, child-directed play. Unstructured, unsupervised, imaginative play in which the child sets the terms and leads the experience entirely. Finnish early childhood education deliberately delays formal academics to protect this space. The child isn't reading yet, but their nervous system is building something far more durable. The science connecting these two concepts is attachment theory, specifically the foundational work of John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, later expanded by researchers at Harvard's Center on the Developing Child. A child who feels securely attached, who knows at a body level that love is unconditional, develops what researchers call a regulated nervous system baseline. Their stress response is calibrated differently. They return to calm more quickly after upset. They are less likely to act out for attention because they have never experienced attention as something that needs to be earned. Leikki creates the same regulation from the outside in. A 2020 study published in Child Development, tracking over 3,000 children across 8 countries, found that children with high levels of unstructured free play showed measurably greater emotional flexibility, lower anxiety, and stronger peer relationships by age 7. Both Amae and Leikki give the child the same message: you are safe here, you are capable, and we trust you. Pair number 3. In Japan, it is Shitsuke, written with 2 characters meaning body and beauty, literally, to attach beauty to the body. Japanese children as young as 4 clean their own classrooms every afternoon. They set tables, pack school bags, and carry out small daily responsibilities, not because they are told to, but because this is who they understand themselves to be. In Finland, it is Ulkoilu, outdoor time every single day in every weather. Finnish children go outside regardless of rain, wind, or winter temperatures that would close schools in most of the Western world. Research published in the Journal of Environmental Psychology found that regular outdoor exposure reduces cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, by up to 21% in children. But the mechanism connecting Shitsuke and Ulkoilu isn't just stress reduction or responsibility, it is identity. Both cultures are making the same investment. Through repetition, whether it's cleaning a classroom every afternoon or stepping into cold air every morning, the child begins to form a self-concept. I am someone who does hard things. I am someone who goes outside. I am someone who takes care of this space. And here is the insight that changes everything. Identity, once formed, drives behavior far more reliably than any rule ever could. Japanese parents don't say, "Clean your room because I said so." Finnish parents don't say, "Go outside because it's good for you." Through daily ritual, through expectation, through trust, they say something deeper. This is who we are. And children rise to meet that identity every single time. Japanese and Finnish parenting look nothing alike on the surface. One is urban, quiet, and precise. The other is wild, outdoor, and deeply seasonal. One is anchored in centuries of craft and ritual. The other is shaped by forests, by long winters, and by the particular freedom that comes from wide open space. But underneath both systems is an identical conviction about children. Children are not problems to be managed. They are people to be trusted. Not the passive trust of looking away, the active trust of presence, of staying close enough to be there if they truly need you, while leaving them just enough space to discover what they are actually capable of. Every parenting culture says it loves its children, but the cultures that consistently produce the calmest, most emotionally resilient kids say something harder. They say, "I believe in you before you've proven anything. I will stay with you through the difficulty, not rescue you from it. And I will give you the daily rituals, the outdoor time, and the unstructured freedom your nervous system needs to build itself properly." That isn't a Japanese secret. It isn't a Finnish secret. It is a human truth, and it is available to every parent starting today. Here is your framework for this week. 1 practice from each pair. When your child is struggling and you want to step in, wait 10 seconds first. Let the discomfort breathe. That's Mimamoru. That's Sisu. You're not being cold. You're building a nervous system. Protect 1 hour this week of truly unstructured time. No screens, no planned activity, no adult agenda. Just space. That's Leikki. Watch what your child's imagination does when you give it room. And introduce one small daily ritual that belongs entirely to your child. One responsibility, however small, that they own. Not as a chore, as an identity. That's Shitsuke. That's Ulkoilu. That's how you shape a person one morning at a time. 3 pairs, 3 practices, 1 week. If this is your first video in this series, we've already gone deep on how Finland approaches outdoor play and productive struggle, and how Sweden built an entirely different system by removing punishment from law and replacing it with trust. Both videos are on your screen now. Next week, we're heading to Norway. And we're going to look at something no other parenting culture addresses as directly, the science of building emotional intelligence from the very first years of life, before your child can even speak. Subscribe, and we'll see you there.